Every coaster enthusiast has a bucket list. This is a list of coasters that they want to ride more than anything else in the world, whether it be for its airtime, intensity, or just the overall insane ride experience. And today, I will be sharing my top 5 bucket lists to you. These are the coasters around the world that I want to get on the most. Starting off my list at the number 5 spot, I have Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And I think the best way to describe this coaster is that it tries to kill you in a good way. I mean, it has one of the best collections of elements I've ever seen in a coaster. The highlights to me look like the death roll, which looks absolutely demented. The wave turn looks incredible, because from what I've heard, most wave turns just get floater, but not Gwazi. This thing looks like it truly tries to throw you out of your seat. And the same goes for the Outer Bank. And the pacing on this ride is just, mwah, it's perfect. Even the color scheme is beautiful, and the actual structure of this ride is just so massive and so photogenic. RMC really built a masterpiece with this ride, and besides its operations, this ride seems perfect in every way. For my number 4 spot, we're going to have to go to Japan to get on Edan. This is basically X2 on steroids, and although I haven't been on either of these coasters, I think I can firmly say that this would be one of the best coaster experiences of my life. I struggled between putting this or Ride to Happiness at the number 4 spot, because I think these rides are pretty similar in the fact that they're trying to do the same thing, be absolutely insane. The forces on this ride looks unreal, and I gotta say that first drop looks like the scariest coaster element of all time. And I feel like I don't even need to explain why this coaster is on my list. Just looking at the footage, you can already tell that it's going to be in a whole bunch of YouTube videos that go like,
"Would you ride this crazy roller coaster for $1 million?
So yeah, that's why this S&S masterpiece is near the top of my bucket list. Starting off the top 3, we have Batman Gotham City Escape. And when this thing was announced, I immediately knew it was going to be one of my top 3 coasters if I ever get to ride it. I mean, Intamin is my favorite coaster manufacturer, and their Blitz model is my all-time favorite coaster model. And I love some good theming, so this ride is kind of my perfect coaster. I honestly think that the moment I ride this, it would go to my number 1 spot, but that can genuinely be said for almost every coaster on this list. While Iron Gwazi has an insane collection of elements, Batman is stacked. It is a very punchy first launch with 2 other incredible rolling launches. It probably has the best stall ever, along with 2 snappy inversions. And when it comes to airtime, Batman excels. The airtime hill right here looks fake because of how fast you take it. And with my favorite coaster element of all time being Maverick's Camelback, this thing would probably take that spot. And there's also the drop off the top hat in the back row, this drop down, and I want to point out, like I said with wave turns, like on Lightning Rod, I can barely see how they give airtime, but Batman's, that's just an ejector hill taken sideways. And slap some world-class theming on this, and you have a perfect ride. Now, let's get into my number 2. And for my number 2 spot, I have what I think will be the best RMC, which is Airy Force 1 at Fun Spot Atlanta. And the more I look at this coaster, the more I think that this is literally what it would look like if I had the chance to design a ride. Airtime is my favorite aspect of coasters, specifically quick pops or sustained ejector, and this has all the airtime. The Outer Bank looks better than Steve's, the double up looks like the best double up ever conceived, and the quad down looks like airtime heaven. I am a huge fan of Magnum, mostly for the finale, and this looks like Magnum's finale, but even more violent and even more fast paced. And don't even get me started on the inversions. It starts off with this trippy looking dive loop called the Raven Trust Dive, and then goes into the longest stall in the world, which speaks for itself on how amazing it is. Then the arcade roll looks like one of the single-handed best inversions ever. It's so tight, and every time I see footage of this, I wonder how the clearances are safe. And the presentation is magical. And while this may be a hot take, this has, in my opinion, the best color scheme ever conceived. And the trains are gorgeous too. I love the futuristic look, and the colors clash so well when it's on the track. It's just the cherry on top to this beautiful ride. But overall, I don't think that anything could take the number 1 spot from the coaster that's been sitting there ever since I became a coaster enthusiast. The moment I became even remotely interested in these rides, I knew that there was only one coaster that I wanted to ride more than anything else in the world. And that coaster is my number one bucket list coaster, Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Take everything I said about Batman, but make the theming 10 times as good, and you have the right idea. This coaster seems like it was literally made for me. As I said, the Intamin LSM launch coaster is my favorite design ever, and this looks like the best one. The selection of elements on this is absolutely incredible, from the top hat, airtime moments, into the Mosasaurus roll. Both of the launches look insane, and the amount of near misses against the stunning rock work you get is so immersive. You feel like you are truly flying through the Raptor paddock. And of course, with Universal building this, it has some of the best theming in the world. And it's not only good, but I personally love it because Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies are very close to me, with the original Jurassic Park being my all-time favorite movie. And because of this, I don't think I've ever wanted to go into a ride's queue more than this. And even the trains, at least in my opinion, are the single greatest trains ever created because of how sleek and cool they look and how incredible they are at night. So in total, Velocicoaster is just a mixture of all of my favorite things, not just about coasters, but favorite colors and movies too. So I don't see any coaster taking my number one bucket list spot anytime soon. If you've made it here, thank you for watching this video. And as always, we would appreciate a like and subscribe. And I know that this video is basically all opinionated, so let me know what your top 5 bucket list coasters are down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later. Peace!